Hello and welcome. You're watching this Saturday's final edition of YES101's Visual Radio. I'm Theruni Karunaratna. Here's a look at this evening's headlines.
News First headline.
Plantation workers' wage raise to be finalized soon, President says. Former local government heads back Ranil Wickremesinghe. Who will replace Harin in Parliament? Tisattanayaka says 4 names nominated so far. Now in news overseas, Bangladesh Chief Justice agrees to resign amid new student protests. And in sports, Kenya marathon great Kipchoge fails to finish on tough day at the office. On to your top story this evening now. President Ranil Wickremesinghe announced that the Wage Board will convene next Monday to finalize the decision on the proposed 1,700 salary increase for plantation workers. President Ranil Wickremesinghe participated in a meeting with plantation workers, trade unions and youth leaders in Kandy today. Minister Jeevan Thondaman, former Minister of Labour Manu Shananya and other officials attended this meeting. Now the President said that over the past 2 to 3 years, both plantation workers and the nation have endured significant hardships, adding that the country is yet to resolve this issue fully. He went on to note that 7 companies have already agreed to implement this new wage. Wickremesinghe said that he has inherited this responsibility, and once the Wage Board reaches a decision on Monday, he will be prepared to introduce and enforce the necessary regulations. Now the President added that this issue cannot be resolved through mere discussions, adding that he has made 7 attempts to address this matter. He said that if he is to uphold the Wage Board, he will ensure its implementation in accordance with the law. The President added that when the law is enacted, he hopes both Minister Thondaman and Parliamentarian Thikambaram will support it. Meanwhile, former local government heads have assured their commitment to ensuring President Ranil Wickremesinghe's victory in the upcoming presidential election. During a special meeting of the former local government heads forum, President Ranil Wickremesinghe pledged to secure the political future of former provincial council and local government representatives who are rallying behind him in the upcoming presidential election. The former local government heads expressed their appreciation for the president's economic recovery initiatives and assured their commitment to ensuring his victory in the upcoming election. Now, during the event, they also presented a document containing their proposals to the president. Meanwhile, Parliamentarian Mahinda Nandalut Gamage announced that the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna group supporting President Ranil Wickremesinghe would establish a new political party by next week, with arrangements already in progress. Prasanna Ranatunga, Manu Shananya, Lohan Ratpatte, Anuradha Jayaratne and Janaka Vakkumbura were also in attendance. Now in more local news, the Samagi Janabalavege has decided to appoint former Member of Parliament for the Galle district, Bandulal Bandariguda, to the position previously held by Manu Shananya following the Supreme Court's ruling. However, a decision has yet to be made regarding the appointment of a replacement for Harin Fernando, who was elected to the parliament from the national list. Now, Tisattanayaka said that Harin Fernando came into parliament from the national list and that someone needs to be appointed to fill that vacant position. He added that the matter has not yet been discussed internally. He went on to note that although various names are circulating on social media, no official discussions have taken place within the Samagi Janabalavege. He added that typically, the national list is finalized after an election, and once a nominee is selected, it is no longer used, adding that the party has the authority to appoint anyone, either from the existing list or from outside of it. Now, Attanayaka said that so far 4 names have been nominated, and according to his knowledge, revealed that Hirunika Premachandra was also among those nominated. Let's now take a look at international news.
International news.
International news is from our fellow South Asian nation, Bangladesh. Now, the Chief Justice of Bangladesh's top court has said he agreed in principle to resign after an ultimatum from protesters days after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina fled to neighbouring India. Obaidul Hassan, who was appointed to helm the Supreme Court last year and is seen as a loyalist to Hasina, was told to step down on Saturday by protesters who gathered outside the court in the capital, Dhaka. Now, a formal letter confirming Hassan's decision to step down was expected after consultations with President Mohammad Shahabuddin. According to reports, the students believe the Supreme Court to be highly politicized and want the other 7 members to also resign. Now, cabinet ministers left blindsided by her sudden fall have gone to ground, while several top appointees have been forced out of office, including the National Police Chief and Central Bank Governor. Sheikh Hasina fled the country on Monday following weeks of deadly protests that began as demonstrations by students against government job quotas but surged into a movement demanding her resignation. Hasina's son Sajib Wazir Joy has said she will return to Bangladesh from India, where she is sheltering, once elections are declared in her home country, which the main opposition has demanded should be held in 3 months. Now let's take a look at your sports news.
Sports news.
Regarded as the greatest marathon runner of all time, Kenya's Eliud Kipchoge made his match on Saturday as he failed to finish the exceptionally hilly Paris Olympics course, dashing his hopes of a historic 3rd straight gold. The 39-year-old Kipchoge started among the front-runners but faded before the 20-kilometer mark, clutching his side as challengers streamed ahead of him. After the race, he said back pain had overwhelmed him and made him stop. Ethiopia's Tamirat Tola took the gold, finishing by a wide margin, while Belgium's Bashir Abdi won silver and Benson Kipruto secured Kenya a spot on the podium by earning the bronze medal. And that brings to a close this Saturday's final edition of YES101's Visual Radio. For details of all these stories and much more, simply visit our website www.newsfirst.lk or follow us on our social media platforms. Thank you for watching. Take care. Good night.